Greetings and salutations. This is Akirishin. In this video, I will be featuring the Messerscmitt ME P.1099 B-2. This is an attack aircraft, a ground pounder, if you will. Now I know what you're saying. Wait a minute. Akirishin is flying fighters all the time. Can he fly a ground attack aircraft? Well, yes he can. Hopefully. So I know I do a lot of fighters, but I want to make sure that for you folks who like the ground attack aircraft, that I am giving you some good content as well. And these are some sharp looking planes. I've actually unlocked, or researched I should say, the level 10 MEP1102B, but I do not currently have the currency to get that aircraft, so I'm going to have to save up the currency for that. But I do have the level 9 version of the aircraft. As you can see, it has four 30mm cannons with 210 damage per second, a low rate of fire, but a very good effective firing range of 950 meters. These cannons are very strong. I can tell you that from the 50mm MK214C to the 30mm MK103C is a huge difference. For one, the 50mm you only get one of those, whereas the 30mm you get four of them. So it's a lot easier to take out ground targets with those three extra cannons, believe me. You can see the cannons up here in the nose of the aircraft. I have the upgraded turret, which is nice. If you've ever flown your fighter behind one of these aircraft to try to take it out, then you know that those defense armaments can be vicious. And of course we have the bombs as well, which have a 75-meter radius and do 5,000 in damage, which is pretty good. In terms of upgrades, I have gone with concealing livery, which reduces the efficiency of enemy AA and defensive gunfire by 30%. Now, since you're a ground attack aircraft, that is, in my book, critical, because those anti-air armaments can really put a hurt on you. So having that concealing livery, I think, is very useful. I've also upgraded with Reinforced Airframe 3, which is a minus 10% chance of critical damage to engines, crew, wings, and tail. Plus it adds 15% to this aircraft's hit points, which is pretty fantastic. No question about it, for me, I went with the turret stabilization, which increases effective firing range of turrets by 15%. So you're putting rounds on those aircraft that are trying to take you out sooner. I think that's very critical because, you know, look, these aircraft are somewhat vulnerable, and I'm not going to have any problems taking out ground targets as long as I don't have some fighter coming along and chewing me up. So I think putting extra resources into the defensive components of this aircraft, I think, is just very important. You can't destroy things if you've been shot down. So that's my theory anyway, and I'm sticking with it. Okay, so I have gone here with the universal ammunition, which has not too much of a chance of fire, but a greater chance of crit. I would love to go with the armor-piercing incendiary because it is specifically states it's damage to armored ground targets. But honestly, I don't think it's necessary. And look at that, 4 times 22 gold. That's just too much, right? Unless you're in some sort of competitive arena, like some sort of ranked competition, I just don't see the justification for it. In terms of consumables, I have gone with the first aid kit to help our pilot if our pilot gets injured. Controlled surface auto trim to automatically restore controllability of wings and tail in case we get damage to those components. I have gone with the gold version of those just because they're automatic, and the non-gold is not automatic. You've got to manually activate it. And weapons cooling because those cannons do heat up, so it's nice to be able to get those back in cool down and back in working order so you can continue to take out ground targets. Alright, in terms of our description here, powerful long-range armament effective against armored ground targets. This aircraft does have good survivability and is resistant to critical damage and fire. So you notice over here I did not go with the fire consumable, the automatic fire extinguisher, because it is resistant to fire already. It has good airspeed. I can tell you this aircraft can go quite fast. Maneuvering combat, forget it. First of all, it's hard to hit anything with those cannons, but other than ground targets, hard to hit aircraft with it. But in terms of being able to get into any kind of dogfight, just forget it. Don't even try it. It is equipped with the powerful defensive turret, as we've talked about. It's got several here. You've got one here. You've got 2 on the sides here. And, of course, it carries bombs, powerful bombs. Looking at the aircraft specifications. Optimal altitude is 950 meters. Optimal airspeed is 393. The stall speed is 160, which is something that's very important, 160 kilometers per hour. You've got to pay attention to that because, you want to be able to go slow enough to take out these ground targets. I prefer to take out an entire ground target rather than just pieces of it. Sometimes you've got to just settle for pieces, but so unless I'm being attacked, I do slow down with extend flaps and air brakes to try to stay short of that target so I can keep putting rounds on it and take out the entire ground target. Now obviously if you're under attack it's a different situation, but this aircraft has an excellent boost. I want to say, if I remember correctly, I never remember what those air boosts are, but I want to say it's like 45 seconds, which is just tremendous, right? It's excellent. Helps you get to the next ground target or to the next sector, and helps you evade if you need to get out of dodge. Alright, and of course, altitude wise, you want to be as low as possible. It's not unusual for me to be clipping the treetops, maybe even sometimes going through them, unfortunately. I don't mean to do that, but sometimes I do. Pilot skills wise, I don't have a lot of skill points in this pilot or the gunner, so kind of is what it is right now. I've decided to go with Protection Expert, which augments the upgrades that we did, including the, let's see here, let's go back over our upgrades. We've got the Concealing Livery and the Reinforced Airframe, and this skill does help with Reinforced Airframe and also Concealing Livery, increases their effects by 40%. So that's double benefit there. Gunner wise, I went with the armor, which increases the burst length of a turret by 20%. I will be, trying to accentuate this defensive fire as much as possible, because I think it's absolutely critical for these aircrafts. And I've been behind these aircrafts in a fighter and just had them chew me to pieces. So they can be very effective in the defensive fire. Paint schemes wise, this is summer. Attractive paint scheme. Winter, which you were looking at. Desert. Again, pretty attractive. I like the smaller camouflage pieces there more than I do the stripes. And marine. Okay, so now I tend to crash into things with these aircraft, these ground attack aircraft, so hopefully I won't be doing that in our PvP here. And let's go into a battle and see how this aircraft performs. Okay, so we have drawn the Northern Bridgehead Birds of Prey map, and
you are approaching the area of
on this map,
operations. Be ready.
What we are going to do is go counterclockwise, first to this garrison, and then over to this mining plant, because usually the enemy team is going to go over here to this garrison, and then usually to the air base. So we want to avoid engagements with the enemy. We want to be where they are not.
Pilots, get ready for action.
So
Let's
we are
go.
going to use our 45-second boost to get over here as soon as possible. Start destroying things, wrecking things. That's just what we do. You see those cannons do overheat quickly. See, it has a good effective range there on the bombs. Looks like they've started to capture this plant over here. There may probably just a ground attack aircraft over here. Maybe we can take it out when we get there. I don't know. Let's see what it is. We have any ILs? I don't think we do. So that's good. You got to watch those ILs. We've got another aircraft like ours. So let's see if we can take them out. There's only room for one of us here, fellow. And you're not welcome. And he crashed. So that's good. He pulled an us. I do have a crashing problem, folks. Not like the party kind. I crash into trees and buildings, and it is what it is. See, we're really flirting here with stalling, but this plane is pretty good about not stalling. At least if it does stall, it doesn't tend to fall out of the sky when it does. We've got our bombs back, so that's good. Let's head over here and take the plant out, hopefully. These bombs have a pretty good radius.
Stay alert, pilots. Large enemy force spotted over the airfield.
Alright, let's swing around and finish off this anti-aircraft emplacement. Looks like we left a building up over here. Get it? Yeah, that took it out. Swing around and finish off this one. Come on, turn around. So you see there we were in danger of stalling, but did not. Nice if we get some bombs back here. You know, unlike fighters where the oh no, don't crash. Oh, that was unfortunate. Oh Lord. We really need to stop crashing. Now I shouldn't fly in the middle of that, but if I don't, it will take me forever to get over to that plant. So I'm going to take my chances. Just try to stay low here and get out of Dodge as soon as possible. Get over here and finish off this plant, hopefully. That 45-second boost is just really nice. Wish I had that in my fighters. That would be OP though, of course.
Be advised, a line of thunderstorms is approaching. We'll soon be unable to provide support. Do you copy? Over.
Alright, let's see what we have here. I think we put everything aflame. There we go, now we're making progress. Okay, so we've hit the squall line, so we definitely don't want to crash again. There we go. Alright, let's see here. That's more like it. It's like fireworks. Okay. So, we're going to head to the airfield. I'm going to take the long route, trying to avoid being shot down on the way here. Use our terrain. Use the terrain to our advantage. Normally I wouldn't want to go to this intersection just because it's going to be a hotbed of fighter activity. We really want to try to avoid that if possible.
The final hope. Hang in there.
We're taking some fire here, for sure. Ugh. Taking some heat here. Okay.
Done what you could. Go back to base.
Alright, well, did our best there. Over 10,000 combat points. Looks like we were the only human pilot on our team. Same with the other team, just one human pilot who was not the top scorer. Okay, so 85,000 in damage to ground targets. We did destroy one aerial target, which was the plane that crashed after we shot at it. 17 ground targets destroyed, so that's really excellent. 2 sectors captured. Over 10,000 in combat points. which is excellent. Outscored the winning team in that regard. Our counterpart, the other human player who was in the same aircraft as we were, he did 71,000 and destroyed 10 ground targets. So, I think you can see how effective this aircraft is. It's a lot of fun to fly. And we'll have some more action here. Okay, so we have drawn the Road to Rome Ascension map, one of the new maps with the 2.0.2 update.
Attention, you are entering the
And
combat zone.
as always,
Get
our
ready for
goal
battle.
here is
Good
to
luck.
avoid engaging the enemy as much as possible. We want to focus on ground targets. So we're going to go over here to the garrison, then we're going to slip around this mountain here and then hit the mining plant. And then, if we can, get to their garrison over here. We're going to stay out of mid, if at all possible, because that's just death in there. That's where all the fighters go to duke it out in the skies. Not where we want to be.
You are approaching the front line. Off we go.
Let's see here. Speed over here. We've got a 45-second burst, which is awesome. Can't beat that, right? Cannons do heat up quickly, so it's good to have that skill that cools them down quickly. Alright, so we're going to head over to the mining plant. Go around this way. Just try to avoid detection as much as possible. See, this aircraft has good speed, so we're able to get from point A to point B pretty quickly. And here we are. Take out the anti-aircraft spots first. Set that on fire. I figured why not take a shot at it. One thing that's good about this aircraft is that even though it's in stall, it's at the point of stalling, it does not fall out of the sky like a fighter would if you're stalling. It's low on the level. Okay, so we're going to move on, keep on moving. Go here to there. And I think there must have been a bomber up there, maybe, that was trying to take us out with a bomb. I give them credit for trying, right? And we're going to ignore that aircraft and just head head over here and do bad things to their garrison. EAA. And we're taking some hits on fire, but we're still alive. Don't fall. Don't fall. Let's see if I can get a... We are really taking it on the chin here. Okay, so taken out by a fighter. So we're people gonna fly this way again. Looks like we have some attack aircraft. Maybe try to take them out. What's going on over here? Head over here to the plant. I think that attack aircraft that passed us earlier is trying to take it out. So we'll see what we can do to stop it. Maybe we can shoot him down again. See a fighter, but we're going to try to ignore him unless he's getting on our tail. So we really need to get over here as soon as possible. There's our ground attack aircraft that we need to deal with. So get behind him. There we go. Oh, we got another one. Did he crash?
Victory is in sight. Keep it up.
Looks like he crashed. Okay, well, we'll take that. We'll head over here to their garrison. Looks like there's that aircraft that took us out before is there, the P.1099 fighter.
Stay alert, pilots.
So,
large enemy force spotted over the airfield.
We do need to worry about him. He's for sure going to come in at us.
Victory is ours.
Okay. Very good. Pulled it out. Okay. Number one spot there. Let's head back to the hangar and see our stats. Okay, so 34,000 in damage to ground targets, but we were only in battle for a little over 2 minutes, so it was a very short duration battle. Let's see here, 5 ground targets destroyed. Over 7,000 in combat points. We had 1, 2, 3, looks like 3 human players here. Good to see Juan Mendoza there. Looks like the ME P-92 fighter, which shot us down that one time, was their #1 player on their team. 10 aerial targets. We shot down 3 aerial targets ourselves. Now that, of course, is not our goal, but we had to defend that one sector. It was under attack, and we were it, folks. Nobody else was really there. So we had to do what we needed to do there. Anyway, you can see how effective this aircraft is. Just 2 minutes of flying time, and we did over 30,000 in damage to ground targets. Not bad. Alright, well, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and that if you get a chance to fly the ME P.1099 B-2, I think you will be very successful with it.